Evening folks, happy new year. Hope you're well. So if you're finding this channel for the very first time, please subscribe and help it grow. Be very grateful if you can do that for me. And hit the like button on this video. Once again, it'd be much appreciated if you can do that. So this is my video for the top 10 worst films of 2021. Now, I know we haven't had a great year for cinema for 2021 because a lot of the cinemas were closed at the start. But hey, we did still get some great movies that were churned out, whether it was in the cinema or on a streaming service. This is my list. This list doesn't reflect on what your top 10 is. Your top 10 may be completely different to mine. That's fine. As we all know, movies are subject to opinion. My opinion is not wrong, your opinion is not wrong. So let's go. At number 10 for me, sadly, it's just scraped in there, it's already just come out. For me, number 10 is The Matrix 4, or The Matrix Resurrections. Now, Matrix 4, I didn't have any high hopes for this film to start off with because I wasn't a big fan of the original one anyway. I mean, I like the first one, don't get me wrong, but the last two kind of did it for me. I thought I switched off. Going into this film, I found this film pretty boring and awful. And when you clock watching on your phone seeing what time it is, that's when you know the film is really boring and not good to watch. So top number 10 is The Matrix 4. Number 9 was a Netflix film called Stowaway. This stars Anne Hathaway. Now the reason this is in number 9 of worst films of the year is because I can see a lot of movies and a lot of movie studios moving towards films where people are trying to get to Mars, or space films. We've had about 3 or 4 this year in 2021. And over the last couple of years, they're all following suit. Now, for me, although the ending was quite heartbreaking and stuff like that in the film, if you haven't seen it yet, go and watch it. I think it's still available on Netflix for you to go and watch. If you, like I said, it was a bit slow for me. It worked up with the climax. Obviously, there's a guy that gets stuck in the rocket, they end up going to Mars and they have to rescue him. They've only got enough supplies, but I didn't enjoy it. I was bored. It kind of went on for a bit too long for me, so that's why Stowaway is number 9. Number 8, this is quite hard for me because number 8 for me is Saints of Newark, a Sopranos story. Now, this was quite tough for me to put this in the worst films of the year because someone who grew up with the original series, the original TV series of The Sopranos, I really enjoyed it. The guy, I'm not going to say his name, I'll probably butcher it. The lead role, we know he's died, but in this film we have his son taking over the role, sort of, I think, if I remember rightly. But the only thing is, this film, again, it dragged out too long and it was quite slow. It was great, the story was quite good, but it was dragged out for an awful long time and I didn't find it very interesting or very entertaining. It was just, for me, another bit of bore fest. But, as I say, it's a shame. That's my number 8 worst film of the year, was Saints of Newark, a Sopranos story. Number 7. Number 7 is Cop Shop, the Gerard Butler / comedy / bounty hunter film. This film was awful. Let's just say that. This film was bad. There was no story to it. All we got was a guy was running from, well, he was kind of a snitch and everyone was after him to shut him up. Excuse me. So this is why it's in my number 7 spot. Although it was bad, but it wasn't that bad. There were still some good elements in it. The plot story was a bit weird. How you were able to walk into a police station and just get away with what they did. A fully fledged police station. Now, I don't know about you, but if you walked into a police station in America with a gun, you wouldn't come out alive. So how this was able to work in this movie, I don't know. Whoever wrote this, I think needs to go back and rethink. So that's number 7, Cop Show. Number 6. Number 6 in my worst top 10 films of the year 2021 is Spiral, the Book of Saw. Now, although, again, this is a film that I'm not a big, a franchise that I'm not a big fan of, the Saw films. I think once you see one Saw, you see them all. You know, I thought Chris Rock did a pretty good job for the parts that he was in. The traps and everything else was quite gory, I give it that. But again, it's another film that's drawn out. Went on for long, and the ending was a bit shit, in my opinion. It wasn't the ending I was expecting. But you know, I got a feeling we're going to get another one, the way it was left open. If anybody's not seen it, well, spoiler alert, Chris Rock character dies, and another guy carries on, and yeah. So, Spiral is my number 6 for the worst films of 2021. Number 5. Now, I don't know what they were doing with this film, but it certainly wasn't the film that I was expecting. So number 5 is Snake Eyes, a G.I. Joe origin story. Now, I'm not up there with the G.I. Joe stories. There's a lot of people, especially in America, that are all up for this. But for me, this movie was awful. It's one of the worst kung fu movies or spy movies that I've ever seen out. I don't know who greenlit this, but whoever did should be ashamed of themselves, because this film was a complete bore. It wasn't funny, and it turned out to be not what it was supposed to be. There's a lot of swerves, and that's why again, another film that draws out quite long enough, or too long should I say, and was a bit, you know, again, another one I was checking my watch to see what time it was and whether it was finished yet. Again, when you start looking at your time to check when a movie's in, and then you know you're bored. So that's my number 5, Snake Eyes. Number 4 in my top 10 worst films of 2021 is Malignant, or The Malignant, that film about the young girl who's got a parasite growing at the back of her. The story was quite good, but the outcome was a bit awful for me. I didn't find it entertaining, should I say. I was sat there thinking what the fuck was going on. You know, and there's a lot of twists and turns. We couldn't get up the story. For me, I couldn't understand how this parasite was so strong. You know, and that's why, and the acting was appalling. I forgot the girl's name, but I don't know if she's been anything else before. Leave it in the comment section below. Let me know what she's been in before. I'll go and check it out and see whether she's any good in that. But this, it didn't work for me, and that's why The Malignant is on this list, and it's at number 4. Right, we're coming down to the top 3 now. So at number 3 is Guilty. It's the Netflix film Guilty. Now, I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I liked his part in this, but again, this was another film that was drawn out and went on for ages, and you thought, what the hell? So that's why Guilty's on the list. Don't get me wrong, I think Jake Gyllenhaal is a good actor. I enjoyed him watching him as Mysterio in the Spider-Man film. Well, in Spider-Man No Way Home. Far From Home. And yeah, unfortunately it's in my top 3. As I say, it was a drawn out film that went on forever. Well, I felt like it went on forever, and that's why it's in my top 3. I mean, the only plus side is Jake Gyllenhaal did a good job. The rest of the story wasn't what you call exciting. It was rather boring, and that's why it's in my top 3. Number 2, the second most worst film of 2021 in my top 10 is Kate. So like I said, Kate. This film is shit. Let's just put it out there. This film was shit. I don't know what they were trying to do with this film. It reminded me of The Equalizer, or a female version. I'm not going against women or etc. Before anyone throws it at me, but this film was shite. I can't believe I sat through this film. I'm glad I didn't have to pay for it, because it's another Netflix film. Again, as we said with Netflix, sometimes you put out good films, other times you put out shite. For every one good movie you put out, they put 3 other shit films out. And obviously these top 3 of mine are all not top 3 films of worst films of 2021 are actually all Netflix films. So Kate, as I say, the worst film I've seen, one of the second worst film I've seen in a long time. I was bored. I can't even remember if I finished watching it. It was that bad. So that was number 2. Can you guess what my number 1 worst film of 2021 was? It came out at the start of the year. It has 2 ladies in it pretending to be superheroes. You've got it right. It was Thunder Force. Now, again, this movie was a bag of shit. I was bored. The humour fell flat on its face. You know, Melissa McCarthy, for my opinion, is not a very good actress. The other one is, I forgot her name now. Is it Olivia Octavia or something? I've probably butchered her name. She's a good actress, but the writing and the performance and the story of this film was absolutely awful. I haven't seen probably anything so crap in all my life. As I say, Netflix has a habit of putting good stuff out and putting shit stuff out, and this is one of them. Again, as I say, the top 3 films are my worst films of the year are all Netflix films. For every one good film that they put out, they put shit over a load of shit other ones. So that's my top 10. So we'll go back over it again. Number 10 is Netflix. Netflix. Number 10, let's have got Netflix on the brain. Number 10, Matrix 4. Number 9, Stowaway with Anne Hathaway. 8, Saints of New York. 7. Cop Shop with Gerard Butler, and the insane way of walking into a cop shop with a gun and start shooting everybody. The cops in that police station are completely dumb, or there's not many cops in that police station, so you can get away with shooting everybody in there, especially in an American police station. 6. Spiral, Chris Rock's first outing in a serious role. No, did it do for me. Snake Eyes, probably one of the worst action spy kung fu films I've seen in years. Number 4, The Malignant. Again, I can see where they were trying to go with this, but it didn't work. For me personally, it didn't work. 3, Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal. Again, I think Jake Gyllenhaal is a fabulous actor, but this film, it just dragged on for too long. I got bored, and that's, yeah. Number 2, Kate. Again, this film was shit. One of the worst films I've seen in a long time. And like I said, Netflix has a habit of putting great films out and also putting awful films out. Let me just... and number 1, Thunder Force. Again, told you, I haven't seen so much shine in all my life with that film. So, that's my top 10 worst films of 2021. Now, as I say, my list might change or might be completely different to yours. We all have different tastes. My list is not wrong, your list is not wrong. So please leave in your comment section below what your top 10 worst films of 2021 are. Is it the same? Is it similar? Please hit that subscribe button and like the video. Like I said, this has been my top 10 worst films of 2021. Have you done a list yet? If so, share in the comment section below. Share what your list is. Might be the same as mine, might be different. We all like films, or we all see films in a different way. Some films I like, you might not like, etc. So, I don't see you again. See you in the next video, and take care.